Welcome to the Media Nerds Podcast. I'm Dan Vadebonker.
And I'm Kenton Larson.
Kenton, I have discovered a new development in the advertising world, we'll say. And maybe you have this. What kind of TV do you have? Do you have a smart TV?
It might be, but I don't use it that way.
Okay.
It might be. I don't know.
TV box. You have an Apple TV box, right? That you do all your stuff through? Okay.
Right.
Well,
and my normal whatever on demand and all that stuff through the cable provider. Yes.
Okay. Yes. You still have cable, as we've discussed.
Yes, I do.
Well, the reason I bring this up is because I have a smart TV, meaning that I choose, like, I basically have access to YouTube, to Netflix, to all the streaming services just directly through the TV. There's an interface, there's an operating system. It's very similar to what you would see on like Roku. I also have a Roku box on my TV downstairs. My downstairs TV doesn't have that. But it's very similar to what you see. You could basically download apps, you can upload stuff. And they also have like an advertising space on this TV. Okay, so what it used to be was just maybe just a banner ad for something. And usually it's just an ad for like another channel or an app to download. Occasionally it will be like McDonald's or something like that, where like a big brand will come in and buy a bunch of stuff up for their Minecraft movie tie-in or something like that. But lately there's a new development in this, and maybe this is a setting I can turn off, and I haven't been bothered to check yet. But my TV is starting to play videos at me when it's sitting idle. So after I finish watching something, usually I'll stop it. I'll go back to the home screen, the little home button on my remote. That'll take me out of Netflix or whatever I'm watching, back to the home, and then I like go on my phone or I look at something and get distracted, and then or I'll walk away. I'll get up and walk away from the TV and go do something else. And all of a sudden I'll hear this noise. I'm like, what is that? And sometimes it's like cars crashing and people screaming. Sometimes it's children's music and fun, happy laughter. It's always different, and it's always an ad, and they're advertising to me directly into my TV. So there's just video advertising is very annoying. It's kind of like when you go on Netflix and you hover for like 2 seconds and it starts playing a clip of that movie or TV show. It does that undesired by me. So this has been my issue. So basically now I've gotten into the habit of just turning the TV off directly as soon as I'm done, which is kind of sucks. Like, I guess it's what we always used to do, is just turn the TV off. But what happens is if I leave that TV long enough, it does kind of default to a kind of a cool art screen that goes through like works of art, which I kind of like. So I don't know, it sucks. It's like this brief moment in time where it just starts blaring ads at you. And then eventually, if I leave it longer than that, if I can suffer through that, it'll get some beautiful art.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, when I play Apple TV, if I leave it on YouTube and leave the room, then all kinds of stuff happens. It can be anything. Like it'll say, and YouTube is just begging me to sign in on my Apple TV, and I'm just like, nope, don't think so. I don't know why. It's sort of like at work, we get this thing saying, would you like to read the new terms of service on the staff hub account? I'm like, maybe later. I click, and I've been clicking maybe later for 3 years or whatever. So it's the same for me on YouTube. I'm like, nah, you want me to sign in? I don't think so. So I don't sign in, but sometimes that happens. Sometimes it just goes to the next video. Like it chooses one for me.
Hey, yeah, autoplay is the next one. That's a old YouTube trick for sure.
Yeah, and sometimes the ads. Sometimes it starts realizing that I'm not skipping anything, and then I start getting like epic length ads. They start playing like the longest ads you've ever seen. Sometimes when the Apple TV screensaver comes on, that's really nice because it's the same thing. It's like nice animations and stuff of places in the world. So that's kind of cool. And then ultimately at a certain point, my TV shuts itself off.
Okay.
If the screensaver has been on for a certain amount of time.
I guess
but it's kind of irritating. All of it's kind of irritating when you get down to it. Because it's like, what are we going to one day have the retina scanner that we leave the room and so it pauses?
I can just see where this is going. Like, they're just going to be advertising everything to us on our TV. Like, right now, it's just being advertised, basically being used internally. But it's not, we're going to get a McDonald's ad blaring at us pretty much every 2 minutes. And they're just looking for any chance to get into any space where they can try and influence us. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, it is.
And I really want, like, I value my home spaces. I don't have advertisements in my house, right? I want to, like, have things I like to look at, like the art. But yeah, I think that like probably the best. I kind of like what Netflix does, where if you leave it on Netflix, it'll just kind of like advertise its own shows, like as a screensaver. Like, it doesn't make any noise. It just kind of does that for a while. That's probably the best thing to do. But yeah, I just see that we're just gonna keep advertising to us. That's just the future of this.
Or I would choose a setting that showed me 80s music videos or something.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Like, yeah, so it could cut it. Like my screensaver on my laptop is all of my iTunes albums.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like, that's kind of cool. I kind of like looking at it, but it's it's what but I can change that setting very easily. It's the being forced. Here, watch some ads. Gah.
Yeah, it's just that I don't like that. I just don't like the noise coming from the other room. And I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, I know. I hear voices or something. Like, what's going on? Somebody walk in.
This week it's an ad for 16 Candles, which is now on Tubi. So you can watch 16 Candles. It's just clips from 16 Candles, which I don't mind. It is kind of nostalgic, but it's like, I can go watch it if I want. But oh yes, okay, so Kenton, we are back at work. We are both working from home today, but we're back at work, meaning there's a new school year starting up very soon. We're preparing for our classes. It also means that we've spent a summer comes to an end, we spent a summer watching a lot of movies and TV shows. So I thought it'd be good if we had what we watched in our summer vacation episode and just talk about all the things we've watched. And so I don't know, where do you want to start with this? Do you want to start with like TV and the best series you've watched this summer?
Well, what I was going to say is, so I've got a breakdown of TV, then I've got TV reality competition episodic, then I've got documentaries, then I've got new films, then I've got old films.
Okay.
So I've really broken it down here, but I don't know. I could just pick and choose just as easily.
Okay, well, that's I like that though, because that's going to make me think of things that I've watched in those other categories. So I didn't have that. I just had a couple of shows written down, but thinking about it in different categories is an interesting way of doing it. What I will say before we get started is that I really enjoy Crave. I have been using my Crave subscription. I got a deal, it was like $5 a month for 2 months, so I'm almost through the second month of that, and it's been really good. It is worth keeping. I may keep Crave. $20 a month is the regular price, but with that you get all the HBO stuff, which is worth it. And then also like a lot of the new movies, like all the big movies, like I didn't watch the Minecraft movie, but if I wanted to, it's there. I could watch it on Crave. So they get stuff like that, like the big blockbusters and stuff, regardless of what studio releases it seems. And I like that. I like that they can pull from all the different studios, because they're being pretty proprietary on their other streaming services, like Paramount Plus, all the Paramount go there, that kind of stuff. So I just like that.
I noticed the movie Sinners is on there for free.
Oh, okay.
Right now. And the New York Times came out with its list of 100 best films of the 21st century. Happy to see Mad Max at number 7, but Fury Road, Mad Max Fury Road. But Sinners was on there, probably the most recent movie I think on there. I think I've only not seen 11 of the top 100 movies.
Oh, I'll check it out.
And so there's two lists. There's critics and then there's the viewers or whatever. So I just went to the viewers, and it's a pretty good list, I think. It's pretty good.
So I will check that out for sure.
So Sinners is one of the only ones that I haven't seen that is available for free, because I subscribe to Crave.
Right.
So it's good to see it there.
Yeah, cool. And that's why I'll probably keep Crave. So I'll start with one of the ones I've found on Crave that I think started as a Netflix series, but now it's on Crave, and that's Snowpiercer.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't watch when it came out. It was originally a Netflix series, wasn't it? Or was it? It might have been like it's like ITV, which I think is a British network. So it might have been like a British TV series that was also that we were just able to see in Netflix. Maybe that's what happened there. Have you watched it?
I saw the film.
Yeah.
On which it is based, but I have not watched the show.
Okay, the show is excellent. I've only finished the first season. It stars in the role, I think it was Chris Evans in the movie, who's the guy who's like a detective, a homicide detective on the train. He's got to solve a murder in first class, and it's all about class struggle. This whole thing is a big allegory for the class struggle, and it's very, very, like, it feels very relevant these days in our age of billionaires that we have. But it stars in this one. Oh, I don't remember his name. He's from Hamilton. He was Jefferson in Hamilton. He was really good. Blanking on his name. David Diggs. I think that's his name. That's what it sounds like. Is really good. And Jennifer Connelly is in it, and she's excellent. And it's just such an interesting. And what I've noticed is a bit of a trend post-apocalyptic stories in the last couple of years, and that makes sense given what's happened. I thought about this recently. Like, remember in the 80s, like you talk about Mad Max, that was a huge thing in the 80s when everyone thought the world was going to be nuked. Right in the 80s, there are all these movies that created the world, a post-nuclear apocalypse. That's what Mad Max is. That's what all these. There was a ton of movies like that at that time, and I thought, well, I wonder if we'll see another trend like that. And we are seeing a trend because we've got Snowpiercer, which is a post-apocalyptic one. We've got Silo, which is another one like that. We've got Fallout. I think season 2 of Fallout they just announced recently, so that's another post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of these stories coming out, and I think we're going to see more of them as we also kind of feel the world kind of feels like it's now, right? So this is going to be very popular. But yeah, Snowpiercer. So the premise is, of course, that this is the environmental disaster. So the world has gone into another ice age because of all the shit we've done to a planet, and so the only way to survive is to be on this train going all around the world. It's a track that stretches around the world, and it keeps going, and it just plows through the snow. But the train, the guy who made it sold tickets in first class, second class, third class, and then you've got the tailies, which are all the refugees who force their way onto the train. And that's like the first scene of the series. It's really good. I don't think they showed us that in the movie. The tailies like forcing their way into the train as it's leaving. People who are like just desperate, starving, have nowhere to go, and they fight their way onto the train. So it's about like 400 or 500 people at the end of the train who are kind of, they don't really want to be there, but they're forced to deal with them because they're people. So that's like, and there you go, that's your refugees, right? And you've got these different classes, third, second, first, and everyone gets more privileges the higher up in the train you go. They have this Mr. Wilford, who is the engineer who created the train. The Wilford Industries is the name of the company that built it. But he's this mysterious person who is kind of like the Wizard of Oz, where he's behind the curtain. He doesn't really come out. Where Jennifer Connelly is the one that does all the talking for him, and she's the big boss over the train, so to speak. But it's a really, really good series. I really enjoyed it, and the end of the first season was amazing. It really had a great conclusion. And in the second season, I can see if I find the thumbnail that Sean Bean. I believe Sean Bean plays Mr. Wilford. Spoiler alert! I get a little bit of a spoiler because he's in the second season. He's the only guy I could think of. We've not seen Mr. Wilford until now, but I guess he shows up.
Oh, cool!
So it's really good. Like it's a lot of fun, and I was kind of surprised. I kind of dismissed it at first. I don't know why. I always feel like when a TV series is based on a movie, it's not going to be good. Like, I can't think of another good example of that. Can you?
How about Alien? So
Series,
you
I
Alien?
haven't seen it yet. Is it good?
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet either. I saw one single review that said the first episode is amazing and the second episode is crappy.
Well, there you go.
I don't know.
They've done they did a Lethal Weapon series that was crappy. They did like a Frequency series based on the movie Frequency, where the guy Dennis Quaid talks to himself or his son or something like that. That was a really good idea. The series is boring. They turn it into a police procedural. Everything they do on TV has to be a police procedural. So that's what they did with that. And that's what they did for Lethal Weapon, of course. But I think one of their actors had problems as well. But they never really can adapt a TV series or a movie into a TV series as much as they can. Like a TV series into a movie, that's just kind of a natural continuation where they have a movie and they go have an adventure that takes 2 hours instead of 1 hour, right? So that kind of stuff is what we usually see. But I don't know. Anyway, it's really good. Snowpiercer. What do you want to talk about? What's your show that you want to?
I just want you. So you just want me to choose one?
Choose a show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, on this podcast, I've recommended Andor, Pernilly, The Pit. In addition, I watched The Bear. I recommended Department Q, but the one that's on Netflix. But the one that I'm gonna say, give a shout out to is Common Side Effects, and that show, it's an animated show, which is rare for me. I don't watch lots of animated shows, but this one was from Adult Swim, and it's free on Crave. And it is Mike Judge is involved in the show. He's one of the voices. Yeah,
it always sounds like Beavis is involved somehow when he's in.
Oh yeah, there's always you just hear a little bit like that. Oh, and the King of the Hill reboot just came out too, which is quite good. But Common Side Effects, I give a special. I think it's got a little more edge to it. It's about the pharma industry, which is interesting. And I'll just set up the premise. It's a guy, kind of like an uber geek kind of guy, who discovers this rare mushroom that seemingly cures anybody of anything. And then the pharma industry, of course, would like to get their hands on something like this. Or maybe they would, maybe just to kill it, because where's the money in curing everything, right? So it's about what happened. It's about his dealings. Can he grow this thing? Can he replicate it? Like, he's being chased by the government. It's cool. It's funny. There's lots of great voice work. Mike Judge is the producer, I think, not the writer. And I can't remember. I saw it recommended in a list of the best shows of the year so far. And once again, I'm not huge on animation, but I watched it and I really enjoyed it. So common side effects. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's good.
Is it appropriate for me to watch with my 14-year-old?
Yeah, I think it is. I'm trying to think.
That's like I've been watching Bob's Burgers with Luke, so we'll probably want to watch that.
No, I think it is, and it's more, if anything, like, let me think. Is there like cartoon nudity in this thing?
No, don't worry.
I don't remember. I don't think there is. I don't think so. I think a kid, like a thoughtful kid, could watch it.
Okay, so so we've each kind of recommended one that we hadn't seen to the other. Now let's talk about one we have both seen, which is The Pit. That's the one that we both loved.
Oh yeah.
And you recommended it to me first, and I watched it. And I just was. This is the one I got closest to binging, because I watched like more than one episode a day, which is I get, and it's just so good. It was so compelling. What are your, like, overall? Why do you think this is such a good show?
It's surprisingly good. I think because when you see Noah Wiley's in a medical show, you go, well, we already have ER. So you kind of go into it like, okay, everyone says it's good. Oh, crap. But then part of it is the show takes place over the course of a day. So
each core thing, so a bit of a gimmick there, but it's compelling.
Every episode is an hour. So like 24. It's like 24. So I think that, and the camera work is great. The storylines are interesting. It doesn't have too much time to concentrate on one story. It gives you lots of stories, and you ping pong across them. Sometimes a new story shows up. Sometimes an old one reemerges. I just think it's the mix of how they handle that, and the balance is really good. How about you? Why do you think it worked?
So I think it's surprising because it's so unlike ER and every other hospital drama.
Yeah, it is.
Right? Those are very straight ahead. Like, the camera's always straight on. They burst through the doors. They're all kind of gathering. George Clooney's asking the other guy what's going on, and they're all like, it's very, very, this seems very real. The whole thing seems very real. We've all had this, I'm sure we've all had experience of being in an emergency room. This feels like that. It feels like being in an emergency room. The cases are so real and compelling, and they show, like, the state of America is exhibited in all these cases, and all these people that come in with all their health problems and all the things that happened. It talks about the crumbling. My favorite scenes are the ones where Noel Wiley and the manager come down. She comes down. What's up? Patient satisfaction scores and stuff like that. Like, that's just like, it shows like the stupid profitability aspect of all of it, which is ridiculous. Their budget issues and that kind of stuff. But it just shows every part of this industry, of the healthcare industry, is just out, and America, because some of these cases are like drug overdoses, mass shootings, all kinds of different things, right? And it's just so compelling to see these people and what they do to help them. And even the ones that were like the situations where they have to report a person for doing something, or they think somebody's done something and they report this and everything. Like, I want to kind of try to keep this as spoiler free as possible.
Yeah, I know.
Anybody here who has not seen The Pit, go watch it, but I won't want to talk about too specifics about it, because I just think it's such a good show. The characters are excellent. All the different actors in their roles are perfect. They're all very different. It's a great mix. It's a good ensemble, I would say.
Very much.
And there's no music at all. The entire show, no theme song. I noticed it. I first couple of
in the credits. Is there in the credits?
It's silent. It's just hear the noise of the emergency room. Like, that's what it is.
I thought there was music in the credits. Did I make that up in my mind?
There is, but maybe someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But I think that I certainly the beginning where it starts and you just hear like the sound comes up. They're in the ER, and then they just start into it. Sometimes it picks up right from the last episode. Sometimes it's a little bit later. Now, something I noticed about it is that it's not exactly like minute for minute. because the episodes I think are around 40-ish, 45, 40, sometimes 50
Right.
minutes. They're not exactly an hour long episodes, but they do represent an hour's worth of time. So they do kind of cut a little bit. But I think it's still really, really well done. You don't even notice. And you don't even realize when the story, actually, I started to realize whenever the stress started getting amped up, I'm like, oh, we're getting close to the end. So it always ended on this super stressful moment.
Yeah. You're watching.
Who is your favorite character? Give me your favorite character from the pit.
I have to say the main character, Noah Wiley.
Okay.
I think he plays that. I know he's nominated for an Emmy, and because Andor is not nominated, which is insane, which is ridiculous. Because so that makes him my favorite. And I just thought that performance, it just surprised me how good that performance is. I think he rightfully is nominated for an Emmy because it's so good. He is so good. How about you?
I'm trying to look up her name of her character because I can't remember it off the top of my head. It's been a while since I've seen the pit. Oh, Dr. McKay, played by Fiona Dourif. Fiona Dourif, of course, is Brad Dourif's daughter. You may remember her from Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, where she plays Bart.
I don't.
Like really crazed. She's so good in that. And she is a doctor with an ankle bracelet. She's the one whose son, that doctor. She is just so good.
Yes.
And I just love, she's such a good actor. And I just think that she's so amazing. And the stuff that was happening to her, like having that ankle bracelet go off in the middle of all that shit that was happening was insane. And she just freaking takes the drill. Sorry, I don't want to spoil too much. It's a crazy show. Like the things that happen in the show, you just never know what's going to happen. Every episode, it opens up and it could go from one thing to something completely different because that's the way it is. That's how it is in an emergency room, right? They just do such a good job of that.
Yeah, it is. It might be the best new show of the year. It's just,
it's probably going to clean up at the Emmys. I bet.
Well, there's so many. That's the thing. That's the world we live in. So many great shows.
Yeah,
and there are a lot. There's so many.
And we honestly don't have to pay very much for them because it's only, like I said, 20. Well, that was part of Crave, right? That's on Crave. So that's part of the $20 a month you get with Crave. And that's like,
it's worth it.
It's 15 episodes. First season is 15 episodes. So it's like 15 hours.
Yeah.
It takes us a little bit past the like they work long. They have to work an overtime shift. And it takes a little bit past the shift until like the end of the day when they finally go home, right? It's just so well done. Now you told me, we were talking about it another time. You told me that one of the actors isn't coming back. What's happening there?
The woman who plays, I can't remember her name. She's formerly Noah Wiley's partner.
Right. She's like his former love. And there's like you can tell right away.
Yeah.
There's like, and then she has, I don't want to spoil it. Her health problem is she has a health problem of her own. And so that she's not coming back, which is weird because they kind of like, they kind of didn't bring her back. Like I think at one point she goes home because she's not feeling well, and then that's it. We never see her again, and nothing ever happens. So they're not going to come back to the character.
No, well, here's what I think. I mean, she has a storyline in there, and it's a good storyline. It's interesting. Stuff happens for for sure. But I think because this is a show that can take place in one day, that you don't like if somebody is not there for a season, they're gone for a day of the hospital. I also think because the writers of the show just seem very inventive and they seem like they don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over, it wouldn't surprise me if something about the location is new or different. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know what they have in mind. But if it's only a day, so people can vanish for a season and then they can come back because it's only a day.
Well, it could be a day next year. It could be 1 year later. Here's the day. Here's another day, and here's what's happened. Time, people have moved on. Maybe we come back to Huckleberry, and he's all experienced because he's seasoned now. He was also good. I also like that character.
I thought the interns were fantastic.
Yeah, they're all great.
And once again, really, it reminded me it's not a comedy like Cheers is, but it just reminded me that everybody is perfectly cast.
Yeah.
It's just you buy it, you just buy it, and you and they're not exactly the same. They're a little bit different. Yeah. Huckleberry has some bad luck, and the girl. I like the girl. Who's the?
Because he has that's one of the funniest ongoing bits is that he says that changes is Scrubs.
Yeah, good stuff. And even figuring out how to get new Scrubs, that's pretty good. And I like the young actress who plays she's the blonde girl and she has an autistic sister on the show.
Dr. King. Say
Yeah.
her name. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that's a really strong character too. And I kind of like I sort of like it. Like there's also one character who does a couple things that undermine and I'm not going to say too much because the show does. I was worried that the show was going to push it too hard. The one doctor who's reporting other doctors, but who maybe has some issues herself.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I don't want this whole show to become infighting or.
Well, that's what you get. Like that's the kind of stuff you get from ER, right? And that's the kind of stuff we don't really care that much about what's happening in these doctors' lives. That's the thing is like these doctors that we see in this show, they're all about what's happening. Like they really are focused on helping people, right? That's really what they're trying to do. So, oh yeah, and the woman who plays like the admin person, the blonde lady who's kind of like who goes up for the cigarettes, is awesome too. Again, great cast. We got to move on. We talk about the pit too long.
The casting.
I want to ask you about. You said one of your categories is reality TV competition. Is that what it is? So what do you have? One of those.
So I've got a few things here. So reality / competition / episodic documentary. So like that can be almost anything. But the British comedy show Taskmaster.
I was just gonna say that. I watched an episode last night.
It's delightful. And 20 seasons for free on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's insane. But Drive to Survive, the F1 episodic documentary, Formula One on Netflix. It's always good. Clarkson's Farm, the latest season, part 4 on Prime. Always fantastic. Tom Green Country, which is the Canadian version of like Clarkson's Farm, which I really enjoyed too. So those were the ones, but I'd say Taskmaster, I mean, it's such a great format.
Yeah.
And I would also say their most recent season, that cast has great chemistry. Like, of course, and the Taskmaster is a comedian himself, and he assigns tasks to these other comedians, and then they compete, but it's funny, and sometimes people barely compete, and other times it's actually quite amazing. Some of the creative tasks and stuff, the stuff they come up with can just be genius.
I first heard about the show through Rhett and Link, actually. Rhett and Link, I watch it every morning, and they kind of do a copycat version of it where they call Belvedere Says, and Belvedere's the little mascot, and they have to do what he says. And it's similar, but not quite as elaborate as some of the ones that Taskmaster get. The reason I started watching this season is because of this current cast, which includes Jason Mantzoukas for the first time having an American comedian on the British show. I follow him on something, and I saw him talking about it. I'm like, well, I got to check this out. And he is hilarious. But yeah, this whole cast, I think we watched episode 4 last night, and it's just so funny. Yeah. The kind of stuff they get into.
This season's got great chemistry among the comedians, and so it's just hilarious to watch. Mm-hmm. I will also say though, they're all like, this is the first American comic. Well, in season 2, Catherine Ryan is from Canada. She has a Canadian comic who made it big in the UK, so she's less known in Canada. Although she was on Canadian Idol as a judge last time, so maybe she's okay. I guess she's becoming better known here. But so she's like, there is at least one other North American comic who's been on there. But I like discovering some of the British comics who are on there who I was or Scottish and Irish who I was unaware of. And some of them are just hysterical. Like I watched some of their stand-up after seeing the show because they're so good. But I will say there are 2 seasons in my mind that are less good than the other ones. And I won't say which. I can't remember what seasons they are. But there's a couple seasons where a couple of the comics are taking the show seriously as a competition.
Okay.
And it becomes a little frustrating because we're into this for the comedy. We're like, we don't really care.
Well, that's
who wins the ultimate prize, and that's part of the joke. Nobody really cares who wins the head of the Taskmaster at the end. It's just the fun along the way, and that's what makes the show so good.
And it's something that you see in other British game shows. There's one, Richard Osman, House of Games, I think he does. And it's a very similar gimmick at the beginning of the show. They say, okay, you're supposed to bring something that means something. They give them like an example. I think the one I watched was like something that sounds odd being yelled by a crowd of people. And then they get the audience to yell what it is so that they can, whatever. And so someone brings a shuttlecock, and so it's funny to hear them say so that kind of thing. But it is like you get the sense from the cast. That's why what you mean when you say this cast is really good chemistry is that they're all in it for the laughs. They're all in it for the comedy, nothing else. They do not care who wins. They do not care who gets the most points. People change. It changes all the time. You're right. People can just give up on the task altogether because they're frustrated and they don't know what else to do. And Zukas does that quite a bit. It's funny.
Sometimes they just stand there. For the task because the task is supposed to be 3 minutes and they're just like and then
one guy, I don't Matthew, I think his name is. He like thinks it's really fast. They had to go every 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And so he thought he was supposed to keep his finger on his lip the entire time. He thought that was the task. So for 3 minutes, he's walking around going like this. He's doing everything he's supposed to do one-handed because he's trying to keep his hand on his lip. It's so funny.
And it's so funny because they misunderstand the task, or they try to find a loophole in the task.
Yeah.
Or they
they find an envelope that delays them because they have to read it out loud because they have to, and then they shouldn't have picked up the envelope in the first place. Right. It's really, really clever. So there you go. That's the best reality TV show. As far as documentary shows, I've really been into historic documentary series. I've been watching a lot of those on Prime. There's a lot of good ones on Prime. I just finished one called The Story of Europe, which is really well done. It's like a 5-part series. I want to say some BBC series. It's got a great presenter, and it really it's an entire. It's definitely pre-pandemic. You can tell it was made before 2020. There's a definitely dividing line there, but it's like it brings you right up until that point and talks about from prehistoric times up until the European Union. So it takes the entire history of Europe, and it's done in a really interesting way because it's themed. It's not just like here's what happened in timeline wise. It's like here's the political picture, here's the style, art and fashion stuff. Like they kind of have it themed in different episodes and they kind of jump back and forth, which is interesting. So it's just a really good series on that. And so that's what I've been into as far as the documentary side.
Oh, pretty good.
Seen anything else? I'm trying to think of, I watched the Boeing documentary.
Boeing.
The one about Boeing that shows how awful they
are.
Continues to be proven true by having another plane crash recently. Like they're just I don't want to fly anywhere right now. Thank you very much. It's not a good
just flying. It seems like it's worse than it's ever been for some reason. It should be it should be the best now, but it isn't.
Well, if you think about it, like the modern aviation system is a miracle of technology, but the way like they have as little fatalities as they do. Because I remember when I was a kid, there used to be plane crashes all the time, right? In the 80s, there was way more. And now they have better safety systems, but when it does happen, man, you hear about it.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? Is there anything else that we haven't touched on? What other categories do you have there?
Well, I'm going to throw one more documentary out, and that is just regular documentary, and that was on TV. It's a 2-parter, HBO/Crave, and it's Billy Joel. It's called And So It Goes, a 5-hour documentary, and it's great.
Yeah.
Can't stop watching it. It is great. And Billy Joel is just a compelling figure. And he's an honest guy. He has demons, but he's a nice guy.
He's demons? What kind of demons?
Oh, yeah, he does. There's the stuff in there, like his ex-wives are well represented in the documentary. And and Billy Joel had a pretty major drinking problem.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. He was an alcoholic. And also there's mental health stuff in there. There's there's like even there, I mean, there's his albums on there, and it's interesting like which albums he likes and which albums he doesn't like, and how Piano Man became a classic later after he recorded it, where he started realizing that it became mandatory that I have to play it, Piano Man, but I don't think it was at first. So there's just some interesting stuff in there, and and then his ex-wife, he hires his first wife's brother as his manager after he and his first wife are divorced. So what could go wrong? Well, the brother steals all his money. So there's that. It's just twists and turns, and that's so well known. I don't even think that's a spoiler, but everything's covered in the documentary. Like it's really, and it really does make you pull out the Billy Joel albums once you've seen it and
Cool.
listen again.
You're reminding me of another documentary. I think it is a series because there's technically 2 parts to it, but it's the Pee Wee as himself series on HBO.
Oh, that's a great one too.
That was amazing. I was so like, I wasn't expecting it to be that personal, and it was just like that part at the end. I don't want to spoil what happens, but it's just so like, it's very nostalgic for me. I was at the right age to like Pee Wee as a kid when he was popular, and I remember when that scandal happened, when multiple scandals. There was one I wasn't even aware of really, was when they raided his house or something like that later in life. Like he found he had like a erotica collection of like gay erotica because he was gay and he was in the closet most of his life. That's something he talks about. But
he also collected sort of campy, retro items as well.
Right. Yeah. So they thought that was bad. But my favorite part of it is the way he fucks with the documentarian, the guy making the movie. That is so funny. Where they'll call him and they'll do a prank call and he'll be like, so I'm gonna come along in all the interviews, eh? What do you think? I'll come and ask them questions too. And the guy's like, I don't know. They just play a prank on him. Or he's like, when he talks about like what it was like being gay and having he had a relationship before he became famous, he was out and kind of like just in the world. And then once he became famous, he didn't want to have that part of his life in the world. But then at the end of it, he's like, maybe I was making all that up. I don't know. He just like says whatever he wants. I love it. I love like everything about that. It was so good.
Yeah, Pee Wee Herman and Billy Joel, the two stand out. Although there's even there's a Jane Mansfield documentary.
Yeah, I've seen that one too. I want to watch that.
Oh my God, that's insanely good too. So that's 3, and there might actually be one more. Let me see. Was there another? Oh God, there's another one on HBO/Crave called Surviving Ohio State. It's a horror. I mean, it's a great documentary about a horrible thing about how did this team physician basically molest so many athletes over the course of so many years, and the documentary, the way it unfolds it's shocking, but it's amazing at the same time, where you imagine how hard it would be for these athletes to talk after the fact.
Yeah.
So that one too, I thought that was just top-notch documentary filmmaking, without a doubt. And I think all of these came out this year, so
yeah,
amazing. They're knocking them out at HBO, and they're great. Sometimes you watch those shitty documentaries on Netflix that they just knock out in an afternoon. I watched one a couple of weeks ago. I'm not even going to name it. It's terrible. These documentaries on HBO, these are real documentaries. They're not just knockoffs to get views.
It's hard to find good documentaries these days. I look for ones. I was on a bit of a thing on the French Revolution. I didn't know much about it. I wanted to learn more, so I had to find some documentaries. But there's a lot of crap out there. A lot of people are just putting stuff out for clickbait and for the views, and it's not very good. I'll give one more recommendation before we close out the episode. Maybe ask you for one more too.
We've got films and old films.
Okay.
Which is right up your alley. So
yeah, I guess so.
So basically, we'll do it quick. But so I've got films broken down into new ones that came out this year, and then ones that are older films that I've watched.
Yeah.
So do you want me to go first, or do you want to do
Go
it?
ahead.
Okay, so I'm just going to say, in terms of a present film that I watched, there is a film called Theater Camp, which is a comedy about musical theater. And I think, was it on Crave? I think it might, it was Crave or Prime maybe. And it's funny. It's like Waiting for Guffman, except set at musical camp. And I just think, it's not a 5-star all-time classic. It's a good, solid comedy about musical theater and kids who go to theater camp, with some good actors in it. So I liked it, and once again, I read about it somewhere, and I was delighted by it. And then for old films, I have to say, I watched on TC. Oh no, was it TCM? I think it was The Poseidon Adventure.
Oh, I love that one.
It's been so long since I've seen it. Gene Hackman, like acting above his weight in what
Absolutely.
was a shitty movie. Shelley Winters, Mrs. Peter Pan, I'm not, like going up the Christmas tree. Like, it's so ridiculous, and yet I couldn't stop watching it.
I love it. Ernest
Yeah.
Borgnine is in that too. It's a great movie.
He's also acting above his pay grade on that movie. Yes.
And it's so indicative of like
Yeah.
the trends of Hollywood at the time, where they were doing these big star-studded. It was kind of like the summer blockbuster. What year was that? Was that 78?
It was the 70s.
Before or after Jaws? It was kind of like already moving towards the summer blockbuster thing, where they try to put as much star power in the movie as possible to have it be about this big epic thing. And there was a lot of disaster movies back then. There was the earthquake one. There was a comet one with Sean Connery. All right, there was a couple different comet movies. I think
there's time.
Meteor was Sean Connery.
Oh, and Jack Albertson, the grandpa in Willy Wonka, is one.
Right.
Husband.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So there's it's strangely compelling, and there's moments of complete ridiculousness and stupidity, and other moments where you're kind of interested in what they might do to get out of this predicament. But it's and things that make no sense whatsoever in that film. So it's a fun 1970s watch. I don't know how they got Gene Hackman to do it. I really don't, but he seems invested.
Good. That's good. He's a great actor, right? He was excellent. It's funny, I can't actually think of a good new movie other than Superman. I already kind of talked about Superman. That was good. I went to see the theater. I've not seen anything else in the theater since then, which I've meant to go, and I just haven't had a chance. But I'll talk about a new movie that I watched that I didn't like, and that was the new War of the Worlds movie with Ice Cube on Prime.
Stinker by all, lowest rated movie on Rotten Tomatoes, I think.
I will watch any adaptation of War of the Worlds. It is my favorite H.G. Wells novel, and I love the alien invasion stories, one of my favorite types of stories. So I was really kind of hopeful for this one, and I was even looking through at it through rose-colored glasses as I'm watching it, trying to give it some benefit of the doubt, because I'm like, well, at least it's engaging, at least it's moving, right? At least it's kind of like that Hulk movie that Ang Lee made, where it was like the frames, because it's all does for those who don't know, the whole thing takes place on screens. It feels like a pandemic movie, meaning Ice Cube is sitting at his desktop computer. We see him through his webcam. All his kids are on their phone, on their cameras. Every conversation in this movie is between people on phones. So it would beg the question, and when the aliens invade, it all continues to happen. He can continue to communicate with everybody. And I'm like, why would the aliens not just take out the internet as soon as they get there? Like the Wi-Fi, just at least take out the Wi-Fi. Well, and then that would take that ability away from Ice Cube. But no, he just, oh man, it is so funny.
I watched somebody talking about the movie, and it was so funny that I watched the whole review without having seen the movie. So I kind of know what the story is. And even the fact the aliens don't take out the internet is ridiculous, because it turns out later in the film, they do have the power over technology.
Well, they take over, there's a part, and this is in the trailer, where they take over their data, which means that they have to erase Facebook. And it's this horrible, stupid scene where Ice Cube's wife died. Spoiler alert, his wife died, and she's like, he has two adult children who are in their 20s. But he's very snoopy. He's like this government spy guy who's very snoopy with all the drones and stuff. And so the part where that is being erased, it's his wife's memorial page, because his wife passed away from cancer or something. And it's like, no, it's like, dude, you still have your memories of her, okay? You still have the thoughts of your wife in your head. They can't take that away from you. Oops, I got worked up there. They can't take that away from you. So I thought that was a funny. Just so many moments like that. There's of course, I'm sure you heard about the Amazon ad, the drone delivery.
That's what I was going to ask you. How did you like the product placement?
Oh man, it's just so heavy-handed. At one point, they give $1,000 Amazon gift card to a homeless guy to get him to flip the drone over, because he's got the guy, the boyfriend, or the baby, the father of her daughter's baby. I don't think they're actually married. They just keep referring to him as the boyfriend or fiance. He is an Amazon delivery driver, and he tells Ice Cube they've got to get a thumb drive to him. Of course, a thumb drive. Every trope you can think of is in this movie. The thumb drive is the thing, the MacGuffin they have to get to him. And the only way to deliver it is through a drone. But the only way to do that is for him to order a thumb drive on Amazon, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my life. like you are behind the computer of like a thing, and we see him hacking all these drones. He can pretty much commandeer any device in the Washington D.C. area for any purpose. Doesn't matter who made it. Doesn't matter what it's there for. Like you can take a private drone and look through its camera or a phone. He can do whatever he wants. But for this reason, they have to use Amazon to order a thumb drive. And wouldn't that thumb drive come from China anyway? Wouldn't it come from somewhere else? It wouldn't come from his freaking. You know what I mean?
They
like
should show them waiting and waiting. He's checking his mailbox every day. No,
because
not today.
It goes to, like, for some reason the boyfriend gets the notification and he's the one that ends up delivering it. It's so stupid. There's so many stupid moments like that the more I think about it, the angrier I get. This is a horrible. It's funny though. It is pretty indicative of the time, I would say. Like this is a perfect representation of what filmmaking is at this time. Just bare basics. Let's get something. It's not even in theaters. Like the mentality used to be, let's get this in theaters. Problem is, it's not being released in theaters anymore. It's just going directly to Prime, right? This is one of many, many movies this summer that should have gone to theaters. Like you'd think a world like an alien invasion movie, Independence Day. There've been tons of movies like this. Would be something you would want to be able to go to in theaters. And there are scenes in this of aliens smashing things. We never actually see the aliens. They're after our data, by the way. That's the whole MacGuffin at the end. They're here. They shut down the internet because they want to eat our data somehow. That's what's valuable to them. It's ridiculous. And the movie is really more about government overreach than anything else.
Oh, Christ.
It's targeting a right-wing audience for that. So anyway, that was the worst one. And then so as far as old movies go, I'll say this. I'm bringing it back with some good old movies because I do plan to go see the new Naked Gun movie in the theaters, and I've been watching the old Naked Gun movies to get ready for that. And those are really good films.
Oh, they are.
I haven't watched the third one yet, but the first two are solid movies. I don't even mind that OJ's in it because he gets beat up. Like that character, it's perfect, honestly. Like they kick the crap out of OJ in all those movies because that's the joke with that character. Nordberg gets beat up. He always gets like thrown off of a platform or drowned or beat up or blown up. Like that's the gimmick. So that's that. And apparently there's a joke about that in the new one, which I like that they did that.
Yeah, it's in the trailer. It's in the trailer, that joke. Yeah.
Oh, of course. Okay, so they give it away. But the Leslie Nielsen, Canadian treasure, Leslie Nielsen is so good at his delivery. And you really see like what I love about those movies. And they're doing something that I don't think you could do anymore, where they're making fun of specific political figures. Like at the beginning of the first movie, and I think again in the second movie they do this. They have like a meeting of like the UN. It's got like it's like Gaddafi and the Ayatollah and all these like 80s leaders that were all enemies of America back in the day, and they're just like Frank Drebin shows up and punches them up.
Yeah. And the Queen, when does the Queen show up? Which film is that?
The first movie. Is that the
first
second movie? It might be the second one.
They're jumbled in my head. I remember scenes. How can you remember which one goes with which? It's impossible.
Yeah, I believe it's the second film in which the Queen is coming and they have to prepare for the Queen's visit.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, it's pretty funny. Again, they're so funny, those movies. And I'm looking forward. I hear the other one is good. I hear it's
it looks good. The trailer made me laugh, and I've heard good things about it. I'll see it. I'll see it when it's streaming for sure.
Yeah, I might go see it in the theaters. We'll see what's coming. I don't know what else is playing this weekend. I might go see a movie this weekend.
Oh, good for you. You're sticking to your guns on the go see a movie.
I got my Cine Club. I get a free, well, it's not free because I pay for it. It's $10 a month, but it buys a ticket for me every month to do that.
I want the Cine Club at Cinnabon, where I get a cinnamon bun every month. That's all. That would bring me far more pleasure than going to see shitty movies.
Fair enough.
If the movie's good, that's a whole other thing. But there's another movie that came out that. Oh, have you seen Fantastic Four yet?
Not yet. No.
It seems like everybody likes it.
Yeah, and for some reason that makes me not want to go see it.
But unfortunately, it bombed on the second weekend, so now it's considered a bomb. And Marvel, so I'm waiting for Marvel to go, well, we gave people quality and it didn't do well, so we're back to the old shit.
Well, you're already back to the old shit anyway. I hear that they don't like. Someone was interviewed about the new one they're making, and she's like, they don't have a finished script. I don't know what's going on. I just do my part. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Anyway, all right. I'm getting texts from my kids. I got to go get the kids. All right, I think we don't do recommendations because we just spent a whole episode recommending.
We did, yeah.
Go watch all those things we talked about. Let us know what your favorite shows, what you watched over the summer vacation. That's going to do for this episode of The Media Nerds. I'm Dan Vadebonker.
I'm Kenton Larson. Don't let the door hit you on the ass.